Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about knees. I got a DM on knee tightness and inflammation. So I'm going to treat this one as if it is a chronic issue, because acute means you did something and within, you have a lot of swelling and edema, and it just happened within like 24 hours. So I'm going to assume that this is just something that's been an ongoing thing. So what we're gonna do and how we're gonna treat this: one, diet. I understand that everyone's home now, including myself, digging in the snacks. We feel like we have so much time, but diet plays a big role. So if you are eating poorly, not getting enough rest, that can contribute to inflammation. Sugar, salt, all of that. So you just might want to keep an eye on that. And if you've noticed that you've been home and you are a lot more achy or swelling, or you have more chronic pain than normal, it's probably because of your diet and you're not moving enough. I'm pretty sure we're all getting enough sleep and naps throughout the day. So you might want to monitor that. For inflammation, you can take turmeric. You can take, what's the other one? Cartilage, collagen. And obviously you want to drink enough water. If it's really bad pain, you can try ibuprofen over the counter. That helps with inflammation. And CBD. So this is the one that I use. You guys can see it. And I usually have a jar. I actually ran out. I have to order more because it's pretty expensive. But this is the one that I feel works best. So if you guys can see that there. So you can rub some CBD on it. I find this to be pretty helpful. So if it's a chronic thing and you're an active person, what you want to do is, if you have some inflammation or you feel like it's swollen, you want to create a pumping action. Your body will send, if it's inflamed or you have edema, that's your body actually trying to heal itself because something's going on in there. But it can also be stagnant. So long story short, it has to do with the lymphatic system. I've gone through the lymphatic system before. The way that the lymphatic system works, hands down, is by muscle contraction. So you have to move. You know, when your muscles pump or when you move by movement, any type of movement, it doesn't have to be a hard contraction. It will get the lymphatic fluid pumping and it would help with some of the inflammation or the edema. So you can, if it's your knees, I can recommend you putting a TENS unit if you have one, just right on top. You can put it here, okay? And you just want to get pumping. And even if, pumping, just even if you go up and down, so you can put something like a towel underneath, and then you want to go into extension just to get your knee going, okay? Mobilization wise, once we get the inflammation down, you can also do a patella mobilization. So you want to feel for your patella. Your patella is your kneecap. And you want to go up and down, and it should move. It should glide up and down and side to side, okay? So feel for your kneecap. See if it's tracking. You can feel like right here. It's not rocket science. It'll go right into your hand. Go up and down. Just make sure it's tracking properly. And then from there, you can just relax your leg and start moving your kneecap. Let me see if I can get to the camera so you guys can see it. So, I mean, this is not ideal, but You see how I'm moving it up and down? Okay. Like, see that? See that, guys? That's my kneecap. So you want to go up and down, well, side to side and up and down, okay? So by mobilizing the joint, you're creating more movement and you're pumping some of that fluid out. You want to decrease the inflammation as much as possible, because when it's inflamed, obviously you're not going to get as much movement in the joint because there is no room for the joint to move, but you want to try. So that's another one. We can gap the joint, or the knee. You can take this, put it underneath. Just be careful because you do have a lot of sensitive stuff back here. I won't go into it, but I usually put it here and just bend your knee, and that's gapping the joint. So we're gonna gap and just hold it and you feel it. You can do it this way, or you can do it this way. You just put this down here, right where your calf is, and you should feel, and lean back, you should feel this open up. Okay, you can hang out for 2 minutes. Also, what you can do as far as tissue work, take a tennis ball, a cross ball, doesn't matter what it is, put it here, and start working that tissue, okay? Working a little bit of the calf, because when you have knee pain or knee tightness, sometimes it comes from the top of the calf, it comes up from the quad, and just move up and down, squeeze. You want to work the ankle. Another mobilization that you can do is you can bend your knee, okay, and you want to come from here, one hand here, and just play with rotation. Okay, we're trying to use the we're trying to mobilize the tibia, but you can work the tissue as well. Lock it in. This is okay. And go in both directions. There was science saying that you had to mobilize in the direction that you were trying to correct. But now the research says it doesn't matter. Just do it both ways. Okay. So here, tissue work. On the top of your knee is the suprapatellar tendon pouch. There's like a little pouch here. This tends to get tight and it will pull on your patella, and it's not fun. So you can get something weighted. It doesn't have to be this. Some people use a barbell. And then you just smash and try to open. Come down to the side. Roll. Okay, you can do that. And if it's really tight and tender, you will feel it. If you have the tennis ball, baseball, lacrosse ball, you can actually kneel on it. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it with my rug. Yeah. So kneel on it, bend, turn side to side, okay? And just work that tissue. 2 minutes. Another thing that you can do for pumping action as well is the bike. So if you have a bike at home and you have knee problems, you can set the seat up high, set the your knees up high so that you can get that gapping motion and just start working that bike. And that'll start pumping, get your lymphatic fluid going, start pumping some of that fluid that you have in the knee. Another one that you can do, and this is my favorite, is if you have one of these, you can get them at Rogue Fitness, you can get them on Amazon, is a voodoo band or a floss band. You're gonna wrap the knee up, okay? Now, if you can do it a bunch of ways, you can wrap on top where that patella tendon is. You can wrap the whole knee if you like, or you can gap it like this, where you get both. You can go over the whole knee, depending on what you're trying to do. Now, when you use this, you want to wrap it to about 70% tightness, okay? The whole premise of when you do, this is considered compression, and what we're doing is we're restricting the venous blood flow return. A lot of people are doing it now for blood flow restriction training, as far as working out, but we're using this today for mobility purpose and to try to get some of that fluid out and that tension. So what you can do, same thing, wrap the knee and just go into whatever position bothers you the most. That's the position that I want you to work. So if you're telling me that when you squat you feel it, then you're going to squat down, okay, with the band on, and you want to do it to as much as you can tolerate it, okay? And then same thing, if it's a lunging position, then you want to get into that lunge, whatever position bothers you the most. You want to do it until, I don't want to say, I mean, if it starts to go numb, obviously remove it, any numbness or tingling, but you want to keep it on for as long as you can. Then you want to wrap, okay? Feel the blood go back into the area, and then you test and retest, and then you just squat down, and you'll feel how looser this will feel. This is also really good because when you do, when you restrict the blood flow or the venous return, it actually helps create HGH, so human growth hormone. I'm a big advocate in blood flow restriction training and compression. If you can get your hands on some BFR bands, awesome, especially right now while you guys are at home, because with BFR you can get the maximal effort results, which meaning hypertrophy, which muscle gain, without having to do max effort. So what that means is when you do it for working out purposes, what we did right now is mobility. So you can take this and use it on any body part that you want, but you're going through ranges of motion, but you're not adding load, okay? When you do the blood flow restriction training or the BFR training, the only places that you occlude are in your axillary and in your groin area in here. So you wrap the band here, okay? Or up here. That's the only two areas that you occlude. And then you proceed to do your workout. So don't get confused when you do the BFR that you're gonna put this on your knee or here and you're doing a calf workout. That's not how that works. You only occlude in the groin and in the axillary. I don't wanna confuse you guys, but I can do another video on BFR training if you like, but right now the purpose that we're using this for is for mobility. Okay, so we can wrap the knee, we can wrap the elbow, the forearm. Someone messaged me for carpal tunnel, so I'm gonna do a video on that. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am trying to respond to everyone's DMs. I have a list here, if you can see, of different people who are messaging me about their different issues that they're having. And so I'm trying to get to everyone, but I love it because it's actually keeping me going. It's keeping me fresh. You know, some things that I might have haven't visited in a while, I have to revisit and look it up. So it's awesome. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Hope this helps. So as always, besos and blessings. Stay home.